We're laying a subfloor in an old historic house. This is gonna be a laundry room. And then because of the old galvanized pipes, everything was like overflowing. The floor rotted out like completely. So these running here are floor joists. And you see where I already had to like sister in one here because wow, that's bad right there. And this is, I don't even know what somebody did with here. So what I gotta do is put down a new subfloor, but the problem is you need to have something to nail it to. It's gotta have a little bit of purchase on the edges. So it's got some here, you see that that's fine. But over here, with them adding floors and whatever, so many years, it's just not really level. I don't really have a big area to nail to. This brick pier is what's holding up all of the beams and the sills and the girders of the house. So it's holding up this big girder. What's holding up these joists is called a ledger board. That's an old school joist hanger, and all it is a board that's going across, and that the ends of your boards are notched and they just set right on it. You see how they're notched out? They just set right there on that ledger board. What I was gonna do is I didn't need that ledger board. I was just gonna use this pier. That's stronger anyway. So I notched this out to fit the length of the pier. And I was gonna set it just like this and have my nailer board. Here I've got it notched where it's set so it's flush, and I'm playing this down a little bit. But in doing this, I was noticing when I was drilling in here that the nails weren't really biting. This is just a little bit too degraded in this one area. It's just not holding the wood in. It's just it's not doing too well with holding the nails, for holding it in there. So, all right, we're gonna back up and punt. I'm gonna get a whole new 2x8 and just make a whole new joist. It'll run the whole length, and I'll sister it up here, and then I don't have to worry about the grit in here too much. It's a giant like 8x8. It's enormous, and inside of it the integrity is really strong, so I'm not too worried about it being load bearing as well, because the roof system, the load bearing is over this wall, it's not this one, so I'm really not worried about that. Okay, so that new white looking block is a piece of wood that I added to continue that ledger board edge, and that's what the other end of my new joist will rest on. See, now I got this notched out, fit on my ledge board. I got this sitting right here on the pier. It's level. We're gonna screw it in with these beasts. This is just a 6-inch because like, go with the length depending on what you're going into. Now ready for subfloor. I can't just go and buy any old plywood and lay it down. This is an old house. It's built before codes. So you see this distance is a lot narrower than this distance. This is about 16, this is about 20. So I have to go and look in span tables and charts to see which subfloor material I can use to span my biggest joist width. I've got to get something that's like a little thicker than normal. I can't use like 1/2-inch plywood. I got to use like a 3/4-inch plywood to span over these wide gaps. Off to the hardware store. Okay, so we finally got the subfloor down. Now what I ended up having to get was basically like 3/4 thickness, which is like 23-30 seconds, for two reasons. Number one, biggest reason is, you remember my spans. I had a 20-inch span from here to here, so I gotta go with codes to cover that. Second reason is my flooring in here that I'm trying to match up with to make it even is also 3/4. So I got 3/4-inch, two pieces that laid down here. I had to cut around where my HVAC vent pipe is going, and I went ahead and covered around this old stack. It's a little jacked up, so I put this piece down and I had to cut around this stack because it's staying. There's no good safe way that I trust anybody to get it out with. I'm trying to slide it in, and it wasn't quite fitting because I had to like lay it down this way, and I was trying to notch it out, and it won't work. Well, I measured wrong. I measured from here, but this one is a little closer, and then I still measured out of how I was like 2 inches off. So I had to take it back up, trim that by 2 inches, and then lay it down. That's why it kind of looks like this. But don't worry, it's not going to affect anything. We're going to put a little piece of blocking, a little piece of wood in here to kind of cover this up. And also, like, it's going to get covered up anyway by the actual flooring you're going to see, so it's fine. But either way, it's down.